Living to 100 has long been seen as a lofty dream, almost mythical for many people. It's not just about blowing out 100 candles on your birthday cake. It's about how to actually get there in good shape, with a clear mind and a reasonably strong body. Yet for most folks who don't make it that far, the exact roadmap remains unclear. And even for those who do live to be 100 or more, many of them shrug and say, I don't really know what kept me going this long. But imagine for a moment if there were a centenarian who wasn't just someone who had reached 100 by chance, but someone who was also a trained medical doctor, who could not only share personal habits that work for them, but also explain, from a scientific and public health perspective, why those habits might actually contribute to a longer life. Wouldn't that be something worth listening to? Well, that person exists. Recently, a 102-year-old retired physician, Dr. Jonathan Schaefer, sat down for an in-depth interview where he generously shared 7 of the habits that he believes helped him live to be over a century old. And what's more, he's still mentally sharp, physically agile, and remarkably energetic. After reading through his story, one might be surprised to learn how simple his approach is. Simple, but not necessarily easy, as it turns out that many people still don't follow these seemingly straightforward rules. If you find this helpful or interesting, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to share it with friends or family who may need a bit of inspiration. Let's spread the good stuff around. Now let's dive in. 102-year-old Dr. shares his 7 habits for reaching 100 and thriving. Let me introduce you to Dr. Jonathan Schaefer. Born in December of 1922 in San Francisco, California, Dr. Schaefer recently turned 102 years old. He's not just someone who used to be a doctor. He was a highly regarded public health expert and a pioneering nutritionist during his long career. His medical journey began in 1947 when he graduated from Loma Linda University School of Medicine with an MD focusing on preventive medicine, long before wellness became a buzzword. In 1955, he went on to earn a Master of Public Health from the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, which equipped him with tools to fight disease at the population level. Over the years, he served as Director of Public Health in San Bernardino County, California, where he played a key role in virtually eradicating tuberculosis in the region. That's no small feat. Later, he spent over 60 years teaching at his alma mater, Loma Linda University, where he specialized in nutrition, chronic disease prevention, and healthy aging. What's jaw-dropping is that even now in his 100s, he walks with ease, speaks with clarity, and has 0 chronic health conditions. And get this, at age 93, he completed a speaking tour of 173 lectures in 138 days. Most people half his age would buckle under that kind of schedule. So what are his secrets? 1. Eat less, eat smart, 2 meals a day is enough. Dr. Schaefer is a strong proponent of what's now referred to as time-restricted eating or intermittent fasting. He personally follows a 16:8 routine. Though he never called it that, he just figured out what worked for him long before it became trendy. He eats only 2 meals a day, breakfast around 6:30 a.m. and lunch around 12:30 p.m. No dinner. He says that skipping the evening meal leaves him feeling lighter, sleeping better, and waking up with more clarity and energy. Sure, he admits that it's not for everyone and he wouldn't push it on someone who has different needs, but he encourages people to at least try eating dinner earlier, like before 5 p.m., to give their digestive system time to rest overnight. It turns out that studies conducted by Duke University and other institutions confirm this. Finishing meals earlier in the day correlates with a healthier gut microbiome and better immune function. If he feels hungry in the evening, he simply drinks water, and he's totally fine with that. 2. Choose real food over processed junk. Dr. Schaefer's diet is mostly plant-based, though not strictly vegetarian. He doesn't eat red meat or poultry, but he does consume dairy, eggs, and the occasional fish. He supplements with vitamin B12 and D, as his blood work has shown deficiencies there over the years. He's a big fan of fruits, though he's careful to avoid overly sugary varieties like bananas and pineapples. Vegetables? Well, he's not crazy about them, but he cooks them in stir-fry style, an influence from his childhood years when his family lived in Singapore. One thing he doesn't eat: heavily processed foods. No sodas, no packaged baked goods, no chips, no fast food. He's wary of anything that comes in a box with a long shelf life, and he's right to be cautious. A 2021 study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that frequent consumption of ultra-processed foods significantly raises the risk of heart disease, especially when eaten in large quantities daily. Those harmless bags of cookies or microwave meals may actually be doing slow damage. 3. Stay physically active every single day. Dr. Schaefer says if there's a pillar of healthy aging, it's movement. Not necessarily running marathons or lifting heavy weights, but consistent daily activity. Walking, gardening, yard work, even just taking the stairs. He believes exercise is especially important between the ages of 40 and 70, what he calls the golden window, to prevent or delay age-related diseases. To this day, he walks at least 45 minutes daily, often outdoors. He used to chop wood, mow his lawn, and even do minor construction projects until well into his 90s. He feels that physical movement helps maintain cognitive clarity and emotional well-being, and it's supported by science. The World Health Organization recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate activity or 75 minutes of vigorous activity each week for adults. He says if you can make that a habit, you'll be way ahead of the game. 4. Keep a regular sleep routine, like a farmer. Dr. Schaefer is a firm believer in the power of early to bed, early to rise. He typically goes to bed around 8:30 p.m. and gets up around 4 a.m. Yes, even on weekends. Why? He says that consistent, high-quality sleep is when the body repairs itself, balances hormones, and restores immune strength. His routine is military precise. Breakfast at 6:30, lunch around noon, then a light evening with no food and limited screen time. This rhythm keeps him mentally sharp and emotionally balanced. He believes many modern people shortchange their sleep for late-night scrolling or Netflix binges, and he warns that doing so is borrowing health from tomorrow. 5. Avoid chronic poisons in daily life. Now here's something you don't hear often. Dr. Schaefer refers to things like smoking, excessive drinking, prolonged sitting, obesity, and too much sugar as chronic poisons, and he doesn't mince words. He's crystal clear. Smoking and heavy alcohol use are proven carcinogens. But he also warns that sitting for long periods, consuming excess sugar, and ignoring rising cholesterol or blood pressure levels are equally damaging in the long run. These aren't one-time threats. They're accumulative. They don't kill you tomorrow, but they shorten your lifespan by silently degrading your organs and systems over decades. 6. Manage stress, or it will manage you. Dr. Schaefer says prolonged stress is one of the most overlooked contributors to aging. Chronic stress shortens your telomeres, those protective caps on the ends of your chromosomes that literally define your cellular age. He has seen people's hair go gray almost overnight from emotional trauma. He warns that stress doesn't just feel bad, it makes you old, fast. His tools for stress relief? Deep breathing, outdoor walks, prayer, and meditation. He also recommends reading poetry or listening to calming music. Don't underestimate the power of stillness, he says. 7. Stay social, keep learning, keep the mind alive. Last but not least, Dr. Schaefer credits much of his longevity to staying engaged, mentally and socially. He chats regularly with former colleagues, participates in community events, and reads every day. He's even learning Spanish at age 102, just for fun. He believes maintaining friendships, keeping close ties with family, and pursuing lifelong learning are key to preventing dementia. He emphasizes reading, playing chess, or learning new technology as a way to keep the brain young. He warns against isolation and stagnation, especially in old age, as these are breeding grounds for cognitive decline. In summary, Dr. Jonathan Schaefer's 7 habits may not be magical, but they're undeniably practical. 1. Eat less, skip dinner, or eat early. 2. Avoid processed foods and prioritize real nutrition. 3. Move your body daily, no excuses. 4. Sleep well and stick to a routine. 5. Eliminate chronic poisons, smoking, sugar, booze. 6. Learn to relax and release tension. 7. Keep your mind and heart engaged with people and ideas. You don't have to be perfect, but if a 102-year-old doctor can follow these, maybe the rest of us can try a few, too. Live long, live well. You deserve it.